Well, Mr. Secretary, respectfully, my question was about
No,
whether or
answer
not
my
you as a
question,
member
Kaitlan.
of the cabinet
Answer my
use
question,
this.
Kaitlan.
And respectfully, I'm conducting the investigation. And I do have a lot of questions for you on Veterans Affairs, but I don't think
No,
it would
Kaitlan,
be
what you want to do
unwarranted
is you
to
want to talk
ask.
about a subject.
Kaitlan Collins, one of CNN's rising stars, thought she was going to trap a Trump official in a hot mess of signal leaks and deflections. But instead, she got a full-on wake-up call from VA Secretary Doug Collins, who flipped the script in a way that left Kaitlan scrambling and the whole media world buzzing. This wasn't just a debate, it was a full-on takedown.
If you want to continue this like this, that's fine. But there are VA employees who...
Well, I'm a little confused about the process because it was on February 26th that the VA announced the plans to save $2 billion. And then on March 3rd, it was the department that announced revised plans.
Now, if you've been keeping up with the latest media battles, you know that CNN has been throwing their weight around, trying to discredit the Trump administration. They've been on the hunt for any slip-up or scandal to push their narrative. And that's exactly what Kaitlan Collins thought she had when she got the chance to interview Secretary Collins. What happened next? Let's break it down. So, the scene is set. Secretary Doug Collins, who's been doing some hard work over at the Veterans Affairs Department, sits down for a routine interview. Or at least, that's what he thought. But Kaitlan, ever the sharp-tongued journalist, thinks she's got him cornered. She goes straight for the jugular, asking about a leaked signal chat involving Trump officials. She's trying to stir the pot, get some sensational soundbite, and hopefully, at least in her mind, embarrass Collins and his team.
Elon Musk hasn't been at the VA. We've got VA employees who are those liaisons, and they've been helping us look through contracts and look through organizational structure. I have to share just with you, interestingly enough, for veterans out there who, look, the VA has been the whipping post for a long time. Everybody likes to complain about the VA, but when you try and fix it, then everybody says, oh, you can't, you got to slow down.
But here's the thing. Doug Collins isn't just some political pawn to be played by the media. He's a man with a mission. And that mission? To serve veterans and make sure their needs are prioritized over all the noise. So when Kaitlan throws the first jab about the signal leak, he immediately shuts it down. "I wasn't part of that chat, Kaitlan," he says with ice-cold confidence. "I'm not going to speculate, but if you want to talk about veterans, let's talk about veterans." And just like that, he changes the direction of the interview. Kaitlan's attempt to bait him into a political debate about leaked chats is deflected like a pro quarterback throwing a Hail Mary. Now, Kaitlan doesn't give up that easily. She's determined to get a headline, so she tries to go in for round 2, asking if it's common practice for cabinet members to use Signal for confidential conversations. Again, this is one of those questions designed to push Collins into an uncomfortable corner. But instead of getting flustered or defensive, Doug Collins flips the narrative completely.
Secretary, thank you so much for being here. You served in the Navy and the Air Force. How would you have felt if information like this was talked about in an unclassified group chat, if a Navy fighter pilot, is in the air? Well, Mr. Secretary, respectfully, my question was about whether or not you as a member of the cabinet use this.
Well, Kaitlan, he says with a hint of sarcasm in his voice, if you don't want to talk about veterans, you're more than welcome to ask about something else. He doesn't bite, though. He turns the heat right back onto CNN. Why don't you explain to me why CNN seems so hostile toward veterans, especially when your network just lost a $5 million defamation lawsuit because of how you treated one? Boom. Doug Collins just brought the heat. That's right. Collins isn't just here to talk about leaks. He's here to hold CNN accountable for their treatment of veterans. He calls out Kaitlan for being part of the network that attacked a veteran and then had to pay for it. But Kaitlan, she's caught in the crossfire. She doesn't even attempt to address the accusation. Instead, she awkwardly changes the subject and tries to get back to the leaks. But the damage has already been done. Collins has already exposed CNN's double standard, and the internet's about to blow up over it. What happens next is even more important. While Kaitlan tries to steer the conversation back to the leak, Doug Collins makes it crystal clear where his priorities lie: the veterans. "I'm here to talk about the VA and what we're doing to help veterans. Let's focus on what matters." He's not letting Kaitlan pull him into her media games. He's staying focused on the real issues. The lives of American heroes who fought for this country and deserve better care than what they've been getting. This is leadership in action, folks.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
At this point, Kaitlan knows she's in over her head. She keeps asking about the signal leak, but Collins keeps pivoting, laying out his case on why the veterans' issues are far more important than any media scandal. And as he does, he gets the last word, every time. Kaitlan stumbles over her responses. She's out of her depth. She's not getting the story she wanted, and now it's starting to show. Her questions, which she thought would catch Collins off guard, only end up highlighting her inability to stay focused on the real topic. As Collins effortlessly redirects, it becomes clear that she can't hold her ground. It's a reminder that the media's attempts to divert attention from key issues often fall short when faced with a politician who refuses to play their game. The entire interview is a masterclass in controlling the narrative. Doug Collins doesn't get distracted by petty media traps. He shuts down Kaitlan's questions and forces her to reckon with the real issue at hand: the state of the Veterans Affairs Department and the lives of the men and women who served this country. His confidence shines through as he takes charge of the conversation, ensuring that the spotlight is on the veterans' needs, not the manufactured controversies Kaitlan hoped to stir up. But here's where the story gets even juicier. After the interview airs, social media goes wild. People start digging into CNN's history of mistreating veterans. The $5 million lawsuit that they lost, that gets pulled into the conversation. And all of a sudden, people are waking up to the fact that Kaitlan and CNN aren't as concerned about veterans as they want us to believe. They're more concerned about political scorecards and sensationalist stories. Doug Collins just turned the tables, and now the media world is reeling. His calm demeanor, unwavering focus, and sharp rebukes of CNN's hypocrisy have made him a hero in the eyes of many, while Kaitlan's attempts to stir the pot have backfired big time. The backlash is swift, with critics pointing out how CNN's agenda-driven reporting often overlooks the very people who serve and protect the nation. But the drama doesn't stop there. The real question now is, what's next for CNN? After getting called out in front of millions, how will they handle the backlash? Will they address the defamation lawsuit they lost? Will they finally start focusing on real issues instead of the endless political games? The growing pressure is becoming too much for the network to ignore. CNN's reputation has already taken a hit, and now they're left scrambling to recover from this embarrassing moment. Look, folks, this isn't just about one interview. This is about a bigger conversation. The mainstream media, led by CNN, has spent years pushing a narrative that doesn't serve the people. They've been more focused on their political agenda than on telling the truth or serving the American public. And it's about time someone stood up to them. Doug Collins has shown what it means to lead with integrity. He's focused on what matters, on the veterans, on making real changes, and on putting the American people first. That's the kind of leadership we need more of in this country. And let's be honest, this interview was a turning point. CNN thought they were going to trap Doug Collins in a scandal, but he turned it into an opportunity to expose their flaws. It's not just a loss for CNN, it's a win for every American who's tired of the media pushing their own agenda at the expense of truth and fairness. Doug Collins' ability to stand firm in the face of Kaitlan's biased questioning is a powerful message that we need more leaders who prioritize accountability over sensationalism. The ripple effects of this encounter will likely be felt in the media landscape for years to come. So here's the question for you. Do you think Doug Collins handled CNN's nonsense the right way? Was he right to focus on veterans instead of playing into the media's game? And more importantly, should CNN be held accountable for their actions against veterans? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think about this entire situation. And before you go, Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next explosive breakdown. Trust me, this story is just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Stay strong, stay free, and God bless America.